strategy guide for Prince level players. Um, so let's kind of go back and start from the beginning. I kind of want to make sure that everybody understands, essentially what tourism is. And as you play Civ 5, ultimately what you're doing is, you're pretending that you own a civilization and you're trying to build your civilization uh, faster and better than every other civilization in the game. What tourism is as the president of your civilization, you want other civilizations to value your your cities. So imagine that you want people to come to your city because tourists provide income to your cities and so on and so forth. So you want them to come to your city. So what you do is you instruct your the people of your civilization to build museums, to build you know to develop writers and artists and musicians, and the better your city, your civilization is developed culturally, the more people that will want to visit your city. So you build airports and hotels, and you do all of these things to make your civilization more modern and more attractive to other civilizations. Um, so that essentially is what tourism is, in a nutshell. So how do you now? Tourism isn't just for cultural victories, and that's something that's important for everyone to understand. Regardless of what victory type you're going for, tourism is an essential component. If you're going for a domination victory and you choose to ignore tourism completely, or a science victory and you choose to ignore tourism, or a diplomatic victory, you cannot ignore tourism. If you do, what will happen is when you get to the modern era, which we're currently in, I'm almost positive. Yeah, because we're currently in the modern era, right? Once you get to the modern era, you'll be able to choose an ideology. And if you'll notice, Babylon, my public opinion that my people are content. So I have no negative modifiers to happiness, right? But Japan is in civil resistance, right? Rome has dissidents. The reason why they have those is because Japan, if you look, their tourism in each of the other civilizations is very low and falling. The best they've been able to do is with the Ottomans, and they're rising slowly, right? Because they are unknown compared to us, with them we are popular, right? With us they are unknown. And because they haven't adopted the same ideology that we have, they've adopted a different ideology. We have freedom and they have order or autocracy. And because their tourism is so low, cultural victory, right? Japan, their tourism is 2 and ours is 56. I mean, that's what's putting them in civil resistance. Now, had Japan put some attention into tourism, their tourism number would be much higher, and they might have dissidents, but they wouldn't be in civil resistance. their overall happiness is in the negative, right? So, that's something that no matter, regardless of what victory type you're going after, paying attention to tourism is important. And the same thing applies to religion, the same thing applies to science. You want to play a well-balanced game regardless. All right, but in this game, the focus is how to win a tourism game. So let's recap. What is the strategy? Well, the opening strategy was 4 cities with a national college, and that provides a strong foundation. We followed tradition. I did open Liberty because I wanted, I felt I needed to build the pyramids early so that I could get engineer points. I wanted to at least have some great engineers appearing throughout the game so that I could quick build some wonders, which would give me at least some kind of competitiveness in that. So, but the overall strategy was to develop tourism early, and the way that I achieved that was, first of all, I did build the pyramids early. So that's way back here. I built the pyramids. That saved me from having to build 2 workers. I felt it was cost efficient, fairly cost efficient. If you're going to rush a wonder, I think the pyramids are probably one of the smartest wonders to rush, because time-wise it almost comes out in a wash. You get 2 free workers, your improvement rate is increased by 25%. So overall, I feel like rushing the pyramids is superior to rushing any other wonder early on, like the Great Library, Stonehenge, the Great Lighthouse, Terracotta Army. I think the pyramids is superior. Rushing that wonder is superior to any other, because you do get the 2 free workers, you get the tile improvement rate, and you get a great engineer point, which helps you get other wonders faster. All right, so the next thing was the Parthenon, and by building the Parthenon, we got the 4 culture points, which is great. We got 1 great artifact slot and a great work of art for free, and that gave us 2 points early, which helped us start developing tourism and influence early in the game. And to win a cultural victory, having that influence early, even though it's only 2 points, is actually, it turns out to be fairly massive. So here we are at turn 206. We've got familiar in 2, popular in 2, familiar in 3 and popular in 2. So we have influence spread across the board with all of the other civilizations. So by turn, at the current rate, by turn 300, it's predicted that we will become influential with Brazil. 15 more turns for Japan. Now so Rome, we've still got some work to do. We got 309 turns. 15 turns here, and 54 turns. So our main concern is with Rome. That's the one civilization that we have some work to do. So our modifiers, we got diplomat modifier, trade route modifier, open borders modifier, and a penalty for differing ideologies. There's really nothing we can do about that. So by this point in the game, we do have some hotels, which apparently I don't have one in my capital. Alright, so that's actually a good thing. That putting it, let's show queue, add to queue, musicians guild museum. So we're going to bring that up. And we're actually going to make that the highest priority. So once this archaeologist is developed, then our tourism will increase even more, and we'll check our modifiers as our hotels start coming in. I got one coming in there next turn. Stable there, garden, hotel, second priority there. Got a hotel coming in 2 turns there. So over the next several turns, our tourism will greatly increase. So other than, the wonders are important. Like I was saying earlier, we got the Parthenon early. We got Sistine Chapel. 2 great works of artifacts, slots, plus the culture. We got the Louvre, which came from archaeology, and I did open exploration just so I could build the Louvre. Broadway, we got that. We did end up getting the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is back in printing press. So we got the Leaning Tower of Pisa and Globe Theater. So we got a lot of things going for us that will assist us in developing our tourism. Like I was saying, we got the hotels, which increase tourism output from great works by 50%. One of the next things we're going to go for are airports, which gives another 50%. We also have to bear in mind that we want the National Visitor Center, which doubles tourism output, and then the internet, which doubles it again. So, that's the overall strategy. By the time we get to the internet, our tourism should be approximately 400 per turn. And, we just gotta see how things play out. Now, I did mention in the previous videos that one of the things that I have to do is try to figure out how to counter diplomatic victories. And, I'll have to wait until that, until we get to the point to where that's going to happen. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly I don't know if there's anything I can do about that or not. We'll just have to see. So I'm working this worker up here. I want to get that oil. I don't have any oil, so I don't have any oil left. Apparently I'm getting three oil from there, but I must have used it for something. I'm not sure what. 9 oil. So I need to put a well there as well. But anyway, that's the overall strategy. If you're going to pursue a cultural victory, it is essential to get the Parthenon early. You need to focus a lot of attention on getting that. But getting at least a few of the other wonders like Sistine Chapel, the Louvre, Broadway, Globe Theater, at least a couple, 2 or 3 of those is pretty important. Having religion is helpful. It's not like if you don't get religion, it's not the end of the world. I find keeping religion within cities to be rather challenging. You convert a city and they convert it right back. So I don't spend too much effort on maintaining the religious war. I don't know, maybe I should. Like especially with Rome, I think I need to put more effort into that. I think from now on, when I have two more caravans that I could establish, so I think I'll add that into the queue. Get a couple more caravans. Got the Circus Maximus, my happiness is at 6, so I'm going to do the caravans before the Circus Maximus. So I got Hotel, Caravan, Circus Maximus. I'll send both of these caravans to Roman cities, and the purpose of that isn't just for the gold. The purpose of that is to increase my influence over Rome, right? Because you get modifiers from trade routes, but also that will help me, establishing trade routes with Rome will help exert more influence. So I got 40 pressure coming from Akkad. These caravans will help exert more religious influence onto the Roman cities that I send the caravans to. So, and Rome is the one that I'm most concerned about. Influenced by player Rome. I'm rising, but it's 300. It's predicted at 309 turns. That's, the game will be over well before 309 turns passes, one way or the other. So, I really have to find a way to, increase my influence over Rome as fast as possible. With this archaeologist, I'm just I think I'm gonna go in this direction here. I do have a caravel, I think, somewhere. I just come with, and then like assist me. I don't know if I'm gonna say no to that. I don't know what effect that would have. Archaeology stolen. Spy stole the secrets of archaeology. Oh, okay. Now I don't really place a high priority, assuming that gold output wouldn't be a horrible thing. Assuming that I'm ahead in science, I prefer sending diplomats out over having a counter spy in my capital. The other civilization, this does, allow other civilizations an easier time of stealing text. But if you look, I'm 6% ahead of the average. So I don't really, if they want to steal my text, I'll let them. I don't really care. Regardless, I'm still going to be pretty well ahead of them. Now I'm running out of things to do with my archaeologists, so I think I'm pretty sure I have, or at least I thought I had, a caravel somewhere. Maybe I don't. Maybe I should buy one. I can't buy caravels anymore. So I have to wait for 560 and then buy a frigate, or I could get a privateer for 480. So next turn I'll get a privateer. So that, and the reason I want to do that, the reason why I want to do that is to discover new territories, and I should have done it earlier, but I must have forgotten. You know, you want to have, I have the rest of the map explored, but I've already pretty much dug the archaeological sites that I can dig. I've already kind of got on Japan's nerves for digging within their city limits, so I don't like to push that too far. I don't know what the repercussions from that would be if, you know, if you just keep doing it. You can definitely get away with it once. Yeah, so we are much more. Now, surprisingly, Akkad has a higher tourism output than Babylon. It's pretty surprising because my focus has been on Babylon, at least I thought. So, I mean, I've turned in most of my great artists and stuff within Babylon, but that hotel probably makes all the difference in the world. So I'll have a caravan come in here pretty soon. I got a hotel coming in Babylon here pretty quick. So we'll do a broadcast tower there. I forgot to buy the privateer, so I'll do that this turn. Alright, so we need to... Alright, let's look. Which city do we want to do? Antioch, Rome. Alright, so I'm gonna do Rome first. That'll give me some religious pressure. Yeah, 54 pressure in Rome. 7 followers. That's pretty decent. He's got aircraft already, so Rome, militarily, Rome is kind of a concern.
Ben, I want to say...
Alright, so... I'm just gonna do that. Yep. Yep. My next push is for airports. Alright. International games, world ideology. Get additional 2 delegates. Public opinion in favor of that ideology is increased for all citizens. There can only be one world. Based on our knowledge of other citizens who come for this proposal. Does it tell you? Well, since he suggested it, let's see what his ideology is. Well, that's strange. He doesn't even have an ideology, and yet he suggested. Huh. Alright, so right now it's looking like international games is a tie, and that's a tie. So I am going to take 2 as long as it's mine. I don't know if there's a way to figure out which ideology, because I don't believe that it's automatic. Alright, so Grecian, Antium. I think I'm going to go for Antium next. This is definitely the hard way to explore seas with archaeologists, so that's why I want that privateer kind of exploring around to find archaeological sites. So my tourism is up to 79. When Babylon, oh, he already finished the hotel, so that's, oh, he must have finished it this turn. So it's up to 106. It went from 79 to 106. So let's get an update. How are we looking for Rome? We're still familiar. Down to 43 turns. From 309 turns to 43 just by finishing a couple of hotels. So, and establishing a couple of caravans. I think that probably made a difference as well. So, I think that that's about all I wanted to say for this video. I will come back probably about turn 250, and you know, we'll do an update. International Games was passed. World was not passed, so that's good and good. Because I don't really care about having a world ideology. I'm already having the effects that I want. Influenced by player, actually, Japan and Rome. Japan is now in revolutionary wave, so that's huge. Rome is, you know, he's still in dissidence. His happiness is -10. His overall happiness is still pretty good, so I don't know, maybe he doesn't really care, but you know, I'm pretty happy with the way things are working out. My tourism is, you know, so high compared to the other players. Culturally, I'm definitely, and tourism wise, I'm definitely way ahead of them. So, you know, it's looking good in that regard. Now, I think the only victory type that I really have to worry about is the diplomatic victory, which has been coming in right about the time I hit the internet. So as of right now, I've been doing a fairly good job of maintaining my World Congress leadership every time. So click to propose a resolution. See, I'm at the top of the poll there. Let's see. Natural scholars and residents. I mean, I could do world religion. Be angry. I would anger people if I proposed that. Science is funding. Now, I think I get some influence if I propose this. Civilizations that would be grateful if we propose this: the Ottomans, Japans, and Songhai. Because I'm so far ahead, I think I'm going to go ahead and propose that. I'm not really all that concerned. Yeah, I'm still substantially ahead of most of the other AIs. I think Rome is right up there with me. But, you know, that's fine. I'm probably going to try to find an opportunity to build up some more military. Soldiers, 43. Yeah, Rome is at 161. So, yeah, I need to I need to find an opportunity to build some more military. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to research labs. Okay, so I definitely have to do that. Research labs, that gets a higher priority than these other things. Does it get a higher priority than musicians get? Yeah, actually I think it does. So I can purchase great profit. That will help me out. And great musician there. Let's see, I got 3 coal, 9 oil. Do I have any more coal? Finally got iron after iron is pretty much irrelevant. That's the way it works sometimes. So I am going to convert that to an oil well. So far my privateer hasn't found any new archaeological sites. So, like I said, this is sending these archaeologists out randomly was a hard way to do it. But with that being said, I think I've covered just about everything that I want to cover. I already knew that they were going to be happy about that. In this video, I will come back about turn 250, maybe turn 260, because by that point in the game, it will be pretty close to the end, and I should hopefully have some idea of whether or not I can stave off a diplomatic victory from one of the AIs. Alright, so look forward to it. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.